So I recently saw The Creator, which is written, directed, produced, shot by Gareth Edwards. He um, he made movies such as Monsters, the 2014 Godzilla movie, and Star Wars Rogue One. And I have to say, this movie it has potential. The screenplay has potential because you have the idea of humans versus robots. That to me has a lot of potential, and I'm sure there's been a lot of movies like The Terminator that's done it. But the creator reminded me actually most of this short in the anthology movie The Animatrix, where the short was about where the machines they worked for the humans, and then later they rebelled against the humans, and it caused the big war between the humans and machines, and then and then later it led into the Matrix movies. Later it led into the Matrix movies. So that in itself honestly has a lot of potential, but the problem with the screenplay was that it starts off well, but then through the later acts of the movie, it falls into familiar tropes and cliches of this guy protecting a little kid, and he's on a mission to protect the little kid, and then later they're on this third act mission to kind of really basically destroy the Death Star. Which there's a giant machine that's basically the Death Star, which it rains down a missile and destroys an entire village, an entire town, and but this but and does the movie takes a lot of influences. For example, you go through kind of like a cyberpunk version of Bangkok, Thailand, and it's very much reminiscent of Blade Runner and all these other influences. And but so that's the main problem with the screenplay. But since it is a Gareth Edwards movie, it's a very beautiful looking movie, and you can tell he takes it's a very indie approach. If you start watching the interviews with Gareth Edwards and how he bought just a $3,500 camera, and they took a small crew and they went to Southeast Asia, and they went to Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Indonesia, and took a small crew, and that's how they shot the movie. And then later he explained how they used Photoshop to do the visual effects for the movie, and even though the movie looks like a $300 million movie, but yet he was able to make the movie on a budget of $80 million. Just a fraction of the price, and that in itself is it's an accomplishment. Because most movies nowadays are bloated with $200+ million budgets, and he was able to make a $200+ million looking movie, but on a budget of only $80 million. And so that's but once again, he's more of an indie filmmaker. If you ever watch it's the same approach as he took with his first movie Monsters, where it was just him and the two actors, and they just go on this road trip across South America, and that's pretty much the movie is. It's they go on a road trip across South America. It's very documentary style, handheld filmmaking, and you see that a lot with the creators. It's a lot of handheld filmmaking. He's got some shaky cam here and there, and it does have that same visual, honestly, that visual cinematography, that visual language as Monsters did, and it's until like you see the visual effects, you're like, oh, this looks like a bigger budget movie when it isn't. When it isn't. So it's more of a mid budget movie. But yeah, once again, the screenplay suffers, but it's a visually beautiful looking movie, and that's overall. I'd give it in my opinion, I'd give it a 4, maybe a 3 to 4 out of 5 stars. So please go. I'd actually suggest watching The Creator just for the looks, just for the looks of the movie itself. And so, hey, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. It really does help out the channel a lot if you subscribe out the channel so that this channel can grow and we can maybe, well, grow this channel out further.